Hello bookworms! Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different type of video. I've seen a couple of people do these where they talk about the books that they're currently reading, and I thought that that would be kind of fun to do, to just like sit down with a cup of tea and just show you some books that I'm currently reading, because my currently reading shelf has been like completely out of control recently on Goodreads. I don't know what I've been doing, but I tend to be reading like 5 to 6 books at a time, and it's somehow working for me, but there's just a lot of things that I tend to be in the middle of. So I thought it'd be fun to talk about those and just tell you some like general life things. So first I'll have some chai tea. First, I will say that I would be lying if I did not say that this past week has been a really tough week. I normally like try to keep everything very positive and happy over here, and that's usually the way that I am, but this has just been like so stressful. A lot of different things have been getting to me lately, and I got some bad news about my mom's health and my grandfather's health. I'm really lucky that I have always had all 4 of my grandparents. All 4 of them are still alive and still with me, and I've had so much time to form memories with them, which has been incredible, and I'm like so thankful for that. But it is really sad, like, when you see things kind of start to change as people get older. So that's been a little bit tough, and yeah. So I have been really enjoying the things that I have been reading that have been kind of letting me escape real life this week. It's one of the many reasons that I really appreciate reading, because it helps take your mind off of some other things. Sometimes it can be challenging to read and to get into something when you're having these other thoughts, but once you do kind of let yourself go in there, it helps make some things better. So anyway, I'm going to show you some things that I'm currently reading. These are my weekend reads that I haven't finished during the week. So the first one that I actually did finish though is The Falconer by Elizabeth May. I just impulsively decided to pick this book up during the week, and I'm so glad that I did, because I really loved it. Had I known that this book was about a woman who hunts fairies, I would have read it like so much sooner. Once I started reading it and I realized that was the story, I was like, what? I read the majority of it in 2 days, and then I woke up this morning early and I finished it before Andrew and I did anything during the day. It was so wonderful, and if you're looking for like a really quick, really good, dark fantasy, I would definitely suggest picking this one up. It also is really fun because it takes place in Scotland, and it has like kind of like a steampunky type feel to it, and I just love that the main character is like constantly drinking tea. It makes me so happy. This was one that I just finished today and I really loved it. You'll hear more about it in my wrap up, but I definitely recommend this one. I am also currently reading Keeping the Moon by Sarah Dessen. So last year I read That Summer for the first time, and that was my first Sarah Dessen book that I ever read. I wanted to read them in publication order, so that's why I started with that book, and I really disliked it. It was so boring to me. I didn't think that it was good at all, and I was like, oh, like I really want to read her books, and everyone always speaks so highly of her, but I just like didn't like that one, so I was just kind of put off. But as I said, I had kind of a difficult week, and I was just craving something mindless that I knew that I would be able to read quickly, and just it would be an easy type read. So I ended up reading Someone Like You, which is her second book, and I loved it. I really, really enjoyed that one. I thought it was so much better than the first one. I mean, I loved it so much that I ended up picking up this one, which is now the 3rd book that she's written, and I'm also enjoying this one as well. So I'm really glad about that, and they're also getting me like so excited for summer and spring and just for warmer weather, and to hopefully be able to go and enjoy the outdoors. And they work at this place called the Last Chance Diner or Grill, can't remember, but they're constantly talking about making burgers and fries, and I'm a vegetarian, but I've been craving a black bean burger and french fries ever since I've been reading this book, and every time that I read more of it, I'm like, I swear I'm gonna need to get this meal before I finish reading this book, or I'm gonna like lose it. I've also been listening to The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. Been listening to this one on audio. I usually listen to it while I walk to work in the morning. It's really enjoyable. I don't know that I love the audiobook version. I am really enjoying the story. So it's actually narrated by Peter S. Beagle, who is the author of the book. I think that's cool because obviously he's the one that wrote the story, so he has the most insight into how he wants everything interpreted, and he, you know, how he can deliver the jokes and everything the way that they're supposed to be delivered. And while I do think that that adds to it, I just think his voice is not my favorite that I've listened to, but I am really enjoying the story, and I definitely, like, I really loved the first chapter. Then I felt like I was like getting a little bit lost. Not lost, but like my mind was kind of wandering. And now that I'm a little bit further into it, I'm like over halfway, I'm like pretty invested in the story, and I definitely want to see where it's gonna go from here. I think it is a really fun cast of characters, and I just can't believe that I never read the full novel before. And then finally, I am also reading Children of Blood and Bone, and I'm really enjoying this one, like way more than I thought that I was going to. I know that there was a ton of hype surrounding this book. I had been like, yeah, I'm excited for it, but now that I've started reading it, I'm like, this is awesome. It's a fantasy novel, and it's inspired by West African mythology, and it's really cool. It's a really good story. It's really holding my interest. I am really curious though, so this is the arc that I have right here. The final copy is out, and I'm planning on getting it after I finish reading the arc, but I'm so curious what it is that they cut from this to the final version, or maybe the font is just smaller or something. But I noticed on Goodreads that as I was updating like where I am in the book, it says that it's 448 pages, but my arc here is 600 pages. So I don't know if a lot of it was cut before they printed the final book, or if the font is smaller. I'm very, very curious about that. So far, I'm really into it. I really like Zelly, the main character. The story is just really, really fascinating, and her and Amari, who is the princess, and her brother, well, Amari's brother is kind of like the villain of the story so far, and Zelly's brother is traveling with her and Amari, and the three of them are trying to bring magic back to their kingdom, and it's just, like, I keep saying it, but it's really cool. I actually just watched an interview that Caitlin from Big Screen Books did with Tomi Adeyemi, and it was really enjoyable, and I definitely recommend checking out her video if you want to like learn more about this book. I just thought that it was really insightful, and Tomi just seems like a lovely person. Because this is so big, I haven't wanted to carry it with me. I initially started reading it on my commute, and I had been bringing it with me every day, and then by the end of the day I would be like, oh, my arm hurts. So now I'm gonna be like slowly reading it at home as opposed to traveling with it. So this past week we got our second nor'easter in New York, which is so much fun to travel in, and there was actually supposed to be a Children of Blood and Bone event at Barnes & Noble in Tribeca, and I had been looking forward to going to it because I was like in the middle of reading it and really enjoying the book, but it got canceled because of the weather. So I'm really hoping that it'll get rescheduled, because I really would love to go and see Tomi talk in person and to be able to get the finished copy there and have her sign it for me. But as of right now, haven't seen anything, so I'm just crossing my fingers that that's gonna happen. Then I also just wanted to say how excited I am to go to BEA. I know that it's still a couple of months away. A couple of my friends have gotten their approvals recently, and it's just gotten me like so excited to go and to see everyone and to just like hang out with the book community. That is definitely the event that I look forward to most every single year. It is like the one set of vacation days that I actually take for myself from work so that I can go and do this and be there and like just see everyone, and it's amazing. So I'm really looking forward to that. Let me know if you're going to be at BEA or if you're going to be at BookCon, because I will be at both of those walking around, and I would love to meet you guys. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I want to cover in this video. So let me know what it is that you're currently reading. Also let me know what is going on with you. Hopefully things are going much better for you than they had been going for me this past week, and hopefully next week will be, it has to be better. Hopefully next week will be better. But yeah, that's all that I have for this video, so I will see you guys soon in a new one. Bye!